Okay, good morning. And I hope you're ready for another very interesting session this morning with our inner circle. So yes, welcome to our session this morning, our weekly session. If you are new to this is something that is broadcast out of Pretoria, South Africa, on a weekly basis. Usually we catch up on a little bit of KEY360, which is the platform that we've developed here with SSG Consulting. It's a platform for, of course, project management and also for business management lately, predominantly based on PM book principles, project management body of knowledge principles, but then also with a lot of add-ons so that it is actually user-friendly, also still for use in business management as well. That said, we have a topic for today. We're going to jump into KEY360 Essentials still. Remember, that is our series, but also subject to that, of course, Bad Habits Die Hard. This is actually part 2. We got stuck on Bad Habits Die Hard regarding bad habits with systems, and specifically also looking at project management and how KEY360 can really help us to overcome those bad habits. So there's a couple of things that we listed. I'm going to quickly go through those, and then we're going to jump right into KEY360. You'll also notice our sessions now have gone from almost 40 to 50 minutes all the way down to about 20 minutes or so, with a little bit more impact, I believe, and a little bit more in-depth into KEY360, the system itself or the platform itself, just to give you some more exposure to that, and also some opportunities to you then to ask some questions at the end. So let's go through this here. Of course, the inner circle itself, there you go. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell button or the notifications button, and share this. Please share this with friends, with colleagues, and with everyone in between. We want to really get the word out. So yeah, if you can help us with that, we'll really appreciate, so that we can, of course, get more people involved in our sessions here as well. The rules, like we say every single week, there's no real rules here. Please, if you do have a question, just one thing, please raise your hand. We do have some people on the other side also looking out for that this morning and catching that. We'll talk to you about that just now. But yes, if there's messages in the chat that you'd like to put up, then you're welcome to do so as well. And like I said, also, please share with friends, share with colleagues, share with everyone. Yes, I'm your host today, Gerard, and I'm the training executive here at SSG Consulting. Our moderator is Corlia. She's the executive chief of staff here at SSG Consulting. And then, of course, on the technical side, thank you very much, Martinez, looking out for us on the IT side, our IT manager as well. Let's jump right into it. So, of course, some of the top rated bad habits. We started discussing this last week already. If you'll remember, maybe if you were there or looked at the previous session, we specifically spoke about prioritizing what's important and staying uncluttered and doing some housekeeping, looking at systems that can help you to do that, like KEY360, of course. And then, of course, some more of these down this list as you go down this, I want to say, rabbit hole as well. You'll see the next two that I've actually highlighted here talks about the lack of consistent updates, and of course the lack of training and user adoption. So there's some others down this list as well that might look familiar to you from last week's conversation. But what's really important for us today to discuss is the lack of consistent updates and the lack of training and user adoption when you look at your specific platform. Now, of course, you want to save time, you want to jump right into your project, get everything updated as soon and as quick as possible. So, of course, you don't want others to sit and spend a lot of time on training. You want them to get what the system is about, what the platform is about very, very quickly, and become proficient as well. So, of course, with that said, we're talking about why are people having a lack of consistent updates, and of course, also that lack of training and user adoption. People struggling to adopt new systems like KEY360, for instance. In this case, we've adopted our system to the users so that it actually works the other way around. So we're going to jump right into that just now. So how do we deal with this? Let's jump into KEY360 itself. I've opened up KEY360 itself here. And when we talk about a lack of consistent updates, usually what we found with the projects that we've been working on now over the past more than a decade now already, it's mainly due to systems being difficult to maintain, not being user-friendly at all. So when you look at KEY360 and the way we've put this all together, it makes it so much easier to understand. I hope you can see well on our screen here. Let's go a little bit bigger. There you go. So what I want to start off with by discussing here is, of course, reports. Now you can have, of course, your weekly reports. You can have daily reports even. You can have monthly reports, annual reports, whatever kind of reports you'd like, progress reports, engineering reports, inspection reports, whatever you can think of, you can do that in KEY360. Now, let me quickly orientate you, those that are new to our sessions here and to the platform itself. I usually take just a minute or two just to orientate the new people to understand what it is they are looking at here. So I already logged into a project here, obviously a mock-up of a real project here inside KEY360 itself. This is the typical view that you find inside of a register, which is really based a lot on some of our Office tools that you will find, Microsoft Office tools. And of course, with a lot of additional functionality inside of what we call here the grid itself, not really a spreadsheet, because of all that functionality inside of this as well. But on top, let's start off. On top, of course, your navigation a little bit here and some settings. And then, of course, just underneath that, you'll find what we used to call all our knowledge areas or focus areas inside of PMBOK. So yes, all the way from integration, including, of course, scope, time, cost, quality, risk, all of that, all the way through to close out and hand over regarding project management. But then, of course, we added some additionals like logistics, asset management, and material management as well. Apologies. So, of course, that means that underneath these knowledge areas, you'll find specific modules. Inside those modules, you'll find registers. For instance, if I click on time, you'll find little blocks that we call modules here. So it includes like early warnings, compensation events, site instructions, etc., etc. So you can see already how things are interlinked from one knowledge area to another knowledge area. Your setup and your operation, your Gantt registers, Gantt activity registers, here, your S-curves, everything that you can find in here, of course, looking at things like tracking grids or trackers throughout your looking at your progress throughout your project itself. So yes, a lot of things that you can find inside these knowledge areas, looking at fabrication, looking at safety, health and environmental, risk management, like I said, cost, quite a loaded one here in this project specifically. Of course, we can switch things on and off as well, give certain users access to certain areas or just maybe limited access to certain areas, so that they can't fiddle with your information inside of your registers. Of course, here with the report register, I simply went into integration and then, of course, went to the report register itself on that side there. There you go. And that really just brings everything together. You'll see I've got a couple of filters on top here that's activated as well, just to narrow down the list so that I can easily find my own report. And I've got some conditional formatting running in here as well, just to highlight my own report for myself. You can see the current status here. There's a lot of other columns, of course, that I can add in here for some additional information about my report. But inside the report register, I think you get the idea. The whole idea is to have a grid with all of the reports listed, their statuses, who's working on them, who generated them, where are they currently at, and what's happening to them. And what information obviously is contained inside. So if I double click on this report, of course, I open up a report itself by just double clicking, or anything, any item inside Key360 by just double clicking on the line item inside the register itself, and that in itself opens up a gray form like this, and that brings me to my report. Now, when we talk about the lack of consistent updates, we specifically talk about systems. You'll remember I mentioned earlier systems that are hard to update. Now, in this case, I wanted to show you this first from the register itself so that you can see how easy it is to set up a report in Key360. First of all, I want to show you what a report looks like that's already been set up. You can see some dashboards have been pulled into the report itself. I've just quickly pulled in 2 dashboards here underneath each other, one focusing, of course, on safety, health, and environmental management here. You'll see all the different parts that's drawn in there. And then, of course, one that's looking specifically at engineering itself, upcoming plan documents even. You can see this is all now empty because nothing else is planned to come in. But yes, even if there were specific engineering milestones, planned and actual drawings, etc., etc. Everything here that's got to do with engineering reporting, we can pull into this report itself. So where do I get all this information from? Of course, it's from other reports or other registers inside Key360 itself, looking at just grids, line items being updated with status management, and some additional attachments if you wish. And by means of that, of course, they are pushed from one person to the other, workflowed from one person to the other. And of course, all that is captured inside the status history of a line item. Now, of course, I can report on that too, looking at the flow of work inside of my project management team. But in this case here, all I need to do is to click on the Add New button under the word Report. You'll see here inside, of course, it gives me a lot of options for layouts inside of my other registers. So I can even go to time, and wherever I have saved layouts inside those registers, it would be highlighted to me and made available for me for use. In another way, of course, is to also add dashboards like I've done at the bottom here. So if I had dashboards that I already put together, that I've put together from different registers and information inside, then of course I can save them globally, and of course they will be available in a list inside here as well. So I simply need to look at, let's say, procurement, and just double click on that, and you'll see it'll pull in that information from the procurement register. As these guys are still busy building here, you can see they were busy setting this one up, or they are still maybe busy working on this one. So you can see whatever is available and saved up to that time, it's available for me to put into the report. Even if it's not even finished yet, I can report on that, even if it's just internal to my own staff, and tell them, guys, this is how far you are with this tracker or whatever it is. So let's hustle, let's make a plan, let's get this done before the end of the day. Of course, also, what you're able to do is, of course, look at attachments here. I simply can click and just open up the original form. And this is the printed report itself. So it is so easy to print reports inside from Key360 itself. As I'm scrolling down here, you can see the different pages. And even, of course, the sign off at the end of it as well. So again, you can save this to PDF, or you can, of course, print this and reattach this all inside of Key360. Maintaining the information, again, like I said, so easy. If I just close this and look back at the register itself, you'll see there's a couple of tabs on top here for other registers that I've got open. Here I was busy just updating another dashboard, looking at personnel management. Some of you who've logged in before, looking at previous sessions that we had, might find this one familiar. Looking at the team performance at the top there, and of course specific things that we measure with specific statuses as well, and looking at what line items were not updated yet, etc., etc. So a very nice and easy way to report and to make yourself really look like a rock star. Really making use of all the tools, all the gadgets, all the widgets inside of Key360. When setting up a dashboard itself, I simply can go to the top, look at maintain dashboards, select any dashboard of my liking, of course, for maintaining it or updating it. And of course, once this is set, I can go and put this in edit mode, go to 100%. And of course, whatever is in here, I can now go and update. So by making use, of course, of the widgets itself inside here and updating and pulling in the information from the other registers, I can add labels, I can add images, I can add, like I said, layouts from within registers, and some even summary labels as well, with some formulas connected to that, some gauges, whatever it is you need to have, you can have that inside of your dashboards and have combinations of this. And really, it should look like your own as well, something that belongs to you and your company. So it doesn't even have to have anything on that says SSG Consulting or KEY360 or anything like that. We've got a lot of companies that we work with that are running their own dashboards, building their own dashboards with just their own identity connected to that, their own company colors, etc., etc. And of course, KPIs, everything according to the way they do things. So setting us up dashboards, setting up reports, two of the biggest ways for reporting inside or from inside KEY360 itself, making your life so much easier. Because of course, if I jump back to my report register, let's quickly jump here. There you go, and open up a report again. You'll see when I look at this report itself, at the top here, like I've mentioned in earlier sessions as well, I can turn this into a push report. So of course, that means that every week, once a week, I simply schedule time with my team so I can have a look at this report, just review everything, go through it before it is actually destined to go out. As you can see here, the setup for a Wednesday on a monthly basis, specific dates, it can all be manipulated so that it will go out automatically. And then, of course, the notification users here or report notifications here is where I can set up the users who I want to have receiving this report, of course. Now, of course, I also have a stop date. So the push report itself will stop at a specific time on a specific day, which I will set up myself. So you can even do this and have the system automatically report on your behalf, even in your absence, or if you're tending to other stuff. So again, KEY360 being so user-friendly and so easy to really maintain. Just by updating your registers, everything gets pulled into your dashboards being put onto your report itself, and your report automatically publishing to the right people, the right teams, right combinations of staff. Of course, that just keeps everyone in the know. So again, the lack of consistent updates really actually alleviated or mitigated here by KEY360. The second one I want to talk about is the lack of training or user adoption. So I just want to close KEY360 here, and there you go, and just jump to another project that we've got opened up here, and we call this the SSG Journey project. So of course, this is your journey into KEY360 itself, looking at how you progress with your training itself. And we've got, for example, a couple of manuals here that we've worked on, that we've actually published into the system itself. Now, of course, when you open up KEY360 for the first time, everything being new to you, you should be having a manual or someone sitting with you, taking you through. And of course, that should happen as soon as possible and as quick as possible as well, so that you can jump onto the platform itself and start populating it with the information from your project. So we tend to actually appoint a trainer to sit with you, take you through this with your team, record our sessions, and then, of course, make those recordings available. But then, of course, back them up with things like specifically manuals like this. Everything from the start, looking like, and this is now our typical manual, as you can see here, being updated for just simply logging into KEY360. All these pages looking like a nice presentation for you, and of course, taking you through step by step, showing you exactly what to click when, what it means, and what should happen next, what you are busy doing at that point, and where you are heading. And then, of course, at the end, also taking you through so that you can take a screenshot. It will be published then to a specific part inside of your own project, in fact, inside of your sandpit project or your training project inside KEY360, so that we can catch that, your project manager can catch that, everyone else can catch that, and that will be reported on so that we can see your progress as well. So really, really, again, the progress and the reporting, and of course that flow of information, the workflow itself, actually making sure that KEY360 assists you so that you can know that everything, all the progress itself is being reported on time and to the right people as well, whether it's now internal or external. Now, of course, this can all be uploaded. All these manuals, for instance, can be uploaded to your document register. And of course, that means that you can transmit these out from within your document register, like we've said or shown you earlier in other sessions looking at document management. I'd like to refer you back to those sessions as well. But of course, yes, this is one of the ways for you to get into the system itself very, very easily on your own or with a trainer. And then, of course, to adopt that very, very easily, because you can see it is something practical, something that you can do. And of course, also at the same time, even follow the steps as you're going through the recorded sessions that we have with you. And it will remind you, of course, of what you were experiencing at that time specifically. So that's KEY360 quickly in a nutshell this morning, looking at the lack of consistent updates and also the lack of training and adoption, getting into a system. I'm sure this opens up a whole new world for you already, knowing that there's a platform like this that is so interactive, showing you even your KPIs, your statuses, your workflows, and your reports and your dashboards all in one. So easy to maintain, so easy to build, so easy to update, and just knowing that everything is run automatically if you set it up like that as well. And of course, you choose who can see what information and at what time, of course, as well. So a very powerful system, a very easy or user-friendly system itself, and really something that I think will get everyone talking on the floor. So if you're interested, really let us know. Let's get back to our slides here. And there you go, sorry. Let's quickly jump back, there you are. So of course, at this point, I just want to quickly jump back to Corlia. Corlia, are there any questions or hands raised at this point, any comments or anything?
Morning, Gerard. No, not at this stage. We're all good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to move on, but also remind you, please, if you've got any comments, any questions, anything that you'd like to add, any remarks, you are still welcome to add that too. We are uploading this always to our channel on YouTube, of course, as you can see here. And of course, you can find us at ssgconsulting.co.za, or of course, make use of what we call the KEY360 supportal. So you can scan the QR code here and just get hold of us via your mobile device, and of course, start talking to us. Then, of course, lastly, also just a reminder again, our two flagship courses that we present. There are others as well, but at this point, fully accredited courses like document management, and of course also planning and scheduling for EPC and EPCM projects. So please, if you want to know more, these are amazing, amazing courses that we present. Please contact us. Please enroll for these. There are some promotions as well running on these courses. So please, let's talk and discuss. Even if you have 5 or more that would like to join us, then we can talk about some discounts as well regarding that. Also, next time, of course, talking about bad habits still. And of course, this will be part 3. I believe it will probably be our last part for bad habits, and talking about the system KEY360 a little bit more, and how it can help you to overcome your bad habits of course, not reporting on time, maybe not looking after your data well enough, or whatever the case is. Okay, thank you for your time. And to, of course, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and to share with as many as possible. Enjoy your rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again next time.